Alright, everybody, it's our Clow here, and immense amount of ground I want to cover today, baselining off of a couple Simpsons episodes, and we're going to end up looking at how all of this connects with Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, as well as Beyonce's Formation Tour, and a number of very other troubling things, including Project Lucid Beast, and what the United Nations is really up to. So, if you're not familiar with this kind of occult research that I do, please check out my other videos, my other channel, Legends of Light, or any other number of excellent resources available to you. And so with that, let's jump right in today. So here's the baseline information for you here, and we'll pull it right over to this screen. Now take a look on your left. What I want you to see here is Homerland. It's a 9-letter word. It's a compound word of Homer and land. So that H and L give us 8 and 3, which we get the 11 from adding. Now with the 9 letters and the 11 from the first two there, we have the 911 reducing down to 99. Alright, so very important. I've talked about this a lot. Keep moving here. You see episode aired September 29th, 2013. Alright, here we go again. September, the 9th month. 2 and 9 as 11. So the month and date give us another 911 or 99 reduction, and so 2013, very interesting, because when we add that across the way I do it, 2 and 0 and 1 is 3, and since it's next to another 3, I leave it at that divine, that master Masonic number there, 33. But if you want to reduce it all the way down, we would do 3 and 3 times, or excuse me, 3 times 3 as 9, and so we put that next to our reduction from the top there, the month and date, the 99, gives us a triple 9. Alright, again, immensely important, and look into my other videos on it. So take a look here. It says episode 531, and I'm going to compare it a bit with episode 135, primarily because both of these episodes are themed around an impending massive scale nuclear disaster. Alright, and when you add these two numbers, 135 and 531, you do get the 666 there. Okay, so again, very important, something I've shown you, immensely connected with Beyonce's Formation Tour, the Rose Bowl Stadium, so on. So watch those videos, and shout out to one of my viewers who noticed the 135 531 connection back in my tool video. Alright, and so very interesting stuff there. Now take a look here, because obviously both those numbers will reduce the same, and so we do get another double 9. Okay, so now let's keep going here. September 29th, that was the 272nd day of 2013, and you had 93 days remaining. Alright, so go ahead and look into those numbers further. Of course, the significance there, just quickly, is that master thelemic number of 93 hanging out. So take a look here, though, because I do want you to see that June 23rd of this year is going to mark 999 days since that episode aired. And very interestingly, about June 23rd, if you do the reduction for it here, you can see that once again we get that 11.9 or 99 reduction. Okay, so June 23rd is the 175th day of this year. And there's going to be 191 days left. So let's take a look into that 175. Notice it comes up as the simple value for 77, immensely important number. You do see reference to the wisdom of Kabbalah, as well as nation records, the secret revealed, and satanic worship. Okay, and very quickly, since 121 does pop up in there, I do want you to see that as the simple value for Antichrist. And all of the coding that we've talked about with there, these ideas of top secret, blood sacrifice, America, Babylon, all of that stuff, okay, does come up. It's one of the potential recurring clock times in Beyonce's Formation video, sunset sound, alright, so on and so forth. So let's keep moving here, though, because as I just said, there will be 191 days left from that point. Again, interesting, if we did these numbers as anagrams, that would indeed be another 11.9. So you look into it, though, as 191, and you see Barack Hussein Obama Jr., the tree of life and death, as well as code 13.7. Alright, and I think that's interesting, because if we were to look into 137, I think I got something for you there. You have reference to instant coffee. Again, remember this coming up from the Minute Brew commercial. Alright, and a cup of coffee being code, and again, looking at that because that was the first commercial aired after JFK's assassination. Alright, but so you take a look at what you have coded for that. You have the path of death, butterflies, I'm creeping death, mind control, and Church of Satan. Alright, be sure to take a look at all of that coding I've showed you there for Church of Satan, the days between the JFK assassination, because it is all very fascinating stuff. But keep moving over here because I want you to see that we also have reference to 88 years, earthquakes today, and the number 1368. Again, these are all anagrammic when they come up, but the fact that it came up that way, and everything I'm showing you with these connections to Beyonce, her formation tour, again, be sure to watch those videos. They're very fascinating if you're paying attention, but see, 1368 is one of the hidden codes that came up for Beyonce Knowles Carter. Alright, and so with that, you do see reference to United States of America, again, Martin Luther King Jr., the key of the rituals, and FEMA concentration camps. Alright, all of that very important. So take a look. I want to keep moving here though because you have reference to pushing the envelope, Egyptian key of life, underground caves, and the secret doctrine. So now if we subtract these two numbers, the 531 and 135, we get 396. Alright, so remember this number. It's going to be very important later on here, but do see that you have reference to the 33rd degree of Freemasonry, another government false flag operation, desires to dominate and control others, causing unnecessary pain or suffering, and again down here at the bottom, worship or reverence of Satan as a deity. Okay, so now let's keep going, and so notice here for Homerland, the Jewish value shows us reference to Krishna, raised Cain, paganism, and Kabbalistic. Alright, so Krishna, very interesting that this comes up here, and again notice the English and simple codes for this down below, but I want to show you, because when I think of Krishna, I can't help but think of Shiva in the same breath, and so those are the two most worshipped gods in Hinduism. There was a big battle between the two, and so interesting that that pops up because we have, remember, Obama was on the Newsweek cover, and so this is more of a Shiva pose, not Krishna, but interesting because that is who, right, was battled there, and so very interesting stuff. And you do see this phrase, God of all things, okay, and of course all the CERN connections with this Shiva statue and what they've shown with that. Alright, so but take a look at the phrase God of all things. Okay, you have reference to sorceries, FBI terror, and an idol of Satan. Alright, down below, those English and simple values are the same as Dallas Trade Mart. Remember, that is where Kennedy was heading when he was assassinated. David Copperfield referenced in the new magic bill to preserve magic as a national treasure 8 times, and Pasadena, California, again, where Beyonce will be playing the Rose Bowl. Very, very important stuff. Take a look here because you do see Skull and Bones, Holy of Holies, the Path of Zane, the Lovers. Alright, you do see reference to the Path of Resh, 66. Alright, this number 997 is immensely important. I've looked into it in one of the previous videos. So if you break it down, you can absolutely see all of this: doctrine of destruction, false or misleading statements, Freemasons in the Illuminati, secretive, invisible coding, the key to the seals, so on and so forth. Alright, when you do the reduction there, that 99 times 7, that number 693, if you invert it, again, that is 396, the number I told you to bear in mind just a moment ago, and we looked into. And so remember when we looked into what was under Benjamin Franklin's home at 36 Craven Street, it was the remains of 15 bodies in some really poor cover story about how that was an anatomy lab down there. It made no sense, so go watch that video, look into it more. Very interesting stuff, but I do want you to see though, since so much is coming up with Martin Luther King Jr. here, More Than a Dreamer, the paper he appears on in Beyonce's video, when just when he comes up on there, the fact that he's in there, you have this 520. I bring that up because 520 is right here, so go ahead and look into all that. Very interesting. Approaching the deadline, Project Monarch, so on and so forth. Okay, again, satanic ideology. And so let's keep moving here though, okay, because all of this is very fascinating stuff. So let's get into actual shots here from this episode. So we're going to look into this chalkboard gag in just a bit here, but the opening scene is very interesting, alright, very ominous. We have all these references to the nuclear plant, Reagan. You see here again this nuclear bomb could be, looks like a tree of life right there, but obviously since it is a atomic bomb, it would then be a tree of death as well, okay? And then so you have George H.W. Bush, all of these very ominous things in here. And so again, what I want you to see, so let's take a look at this United Cats Embassy, alright, because this is the same English value as True Love's Kiss, and as you can see quite a bit more down there for when we get to it. So I do want you to see for True Love's Kiss, when we look at those values, since it shares the 1170, we'll look at that. The 777, California earthquake, Donald Trump, as well as military complex, and first-degree murder. Okay, a lot of stuff about Trump going to be assassinated. Take a look up top here, though, for True Love's Kiss. You have the Illuminati Project, United States concentration camps, Second War of Independence. Keep that in mind because that will come up again later. You have the devil comes to let it bleed, the infernal warlord, alright, world terror, nuclear devastation, decryption of Masonic images and messages, and ongoing strife and division. Alright, so just fascinating stuff. So now take a look here. United Cats Embassy, just outright for the coding, the government, transcending the illusion of time, the great volcano. Alright, they're talking a lot about what would happen if Yellowstone were to erupt, and think about if you're in the Pacific Northwest, the Ring of Fire, all that stuff with all of the tectonic plates going, it would be in games right there. Alright, take a look. The pattern of reality, greatest tragedy of America, death penalty for U.S., and the meaning of 9/11. So obviously could be also the meaning of 99 even further. So take a look. The English and simple values here are the same as the Misfits Bullet and Hollywood Babylon. So remember, the Misfits EP, Bullet is the one with JFK being assassinated on the cover. Hollywood Babylon is on there. I looked into that. It is fascinating, but take a look here. Again, Martin Luther King, catastrophic lying, the G of Freemasonry. Okay, again, remember the importance of the number 7, its connection to the seal of Babylon as well as the mark of the beast, and obviously it is the keystone for the actual Masonic crest there. Okay, look at this. God of the Aquarius Age, subliminal messages, apocalyptic desires. Alright, so all of that, very interesting. Okay, so now take a look here. The writer for this episode, that is Stephanie Gillis, and you do have reference to Crusades, Meteor Impact, Appointed Time, Unclear Thing. Alright, that's why I'm throwing you all of these dates, because it is unclear which one is actually the one that we're supposed to really be mindful of. Okay, and so take a look here. I'm going to talk about this more in just a bit. The English and simple values are the same as Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey, final. That is the formula of Tetragrammaton. Very interesting. It's also the same as page 35. Okay, and so what I'm going to show you a little later here is in Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, the copy that I have of it on page 35. They're talking about the 9 Years' War and the idea of AF 141. So I'm going to get into that later on. Keep it in mind though, again, these reductions you can see of the 99, but so keep going here. United Nations 22, remember the master builder number, the paths that connect, the tree of life. Okay, Scottish Rite, divide and conquer, the crown snake, tree of knowledge, homosexual agenda, big deal. Here you have again Yellowstone, May's earthquake, rule everyone, in the number 729. Okay, immensely important because that is the number that I've been coming up again and again on for the whole last day here. And so let me see if I have this up for you. Alright, and so you have all of these different reductions that you can do for 729. I do want you to see, since it comes up with, remember, 990, this is the same as the formula for Tetragrammaton. You actually have 729 is going to be the 184th day of this year, and with that you do have Tetragrammaton. Alright, the formula of magic, follow the signs, Elenin destroys, continental drift. Alright, CERN is under Geneva, and you have right in front of that where hell is located, and unholy religion. Alright, so again, all this stuff with 729 that you can look into from my name. I'll put up another video on this soon, but the trinity of dates that I got from that 729, very, very interesting. Okay, so now let's keep going here. I want you to see, and again, this was just at the very beginning here, 25 years and they can't come up with a new punishment. Okay, so if we look at that again, these numbers do not show up for us in the actual base, and so you just have for the phrase here, and so I want you to see the secret everyone wants to know, and the only way to stop the earthquakes is to stop fighting one another. Alright, so we'll see about that. You also see reference to the Illuminati use the third eye to invade others' consciousness and cause accidents. Okay, this is insane stuff. You also have, they are called the occult because they are secretly plotting against humanity. Down below, there's quite a bit more, but for the sake of time, I've got just the one on here. You can see expressed historically through terrorism. Alright, so very interesting stuff to say the least. Now, you could reduce this down since 25 is presented up there in the actual number form. 2 and 5 is 7, right? Again, that very, very important satanic number, which they convince everybody, right, is lucky number 7 to put all of that energy into it. It's always about misleading and feeding things without being aware of it, all right? So take a look here, because you have this Jewish value of 50,011, again, 5 times 11, that incredibly important 55. Interestingly, and again, from another one of my viewers, the day after Beyonce's tour ends, the World Formation Tour, Obama is going to be turning 55. So a lot to be said there. Now take a look here, because we get Project Lucid Beast 666 Universal Human Control System. Alright, we're going to take a look at that in just a second here, but let's finish this out. The guillotines with shackles are prepositioned nationwide for martial law. Now keep going here, because you see Bill Cooper murdered November 6, 2001. That is absolutely the day that he was officially declared dead, found dead. You see November 6, 11 times 6, that ever important 66. Yet again, alright, you see protection of cultural objects and of places of worship. This is, to me, direct reference to the magic bill that Congress is currently debating in the midst of this very, very messed up world that we're living in. Alright, so now let's jump back here and take a look at this. So this is actually, right, this is an actual book by Tex Mars here, and so you can read through this and see all the things that he's talking about in it. And so what I want you to see is that we have it being written back September 1st, 1996, alright, 9-1, okay, and again, that inverted 19, the Path of Resh, that is the Sun card, the guy who is putting the bill through right now for the magic bill. He also has been in Congress. This is his 19th year in Congress, alright, that number, something I've talked about immensely here, but I don't want to get sidetracked by it, so take a look. For Tex Mars here, you have reference to martyr and 396. Okay, again, that number has come up a couple of times already today in subtracting our Simpsons episodes number, and we looked at the inversion of it over here. Remember, 693 is what we had when we had 99 times 7, which we got with that skull and bones number, the Pasadena, all of those things. So this is pretty airtight connections as we're moving around here. Masonry, the Conqueror, demonic sponsors, okay, messed up stuff. Take a look down below. Hermetic Kabbalah, remember, that is the central piece for secret societies, for their worship, for the propagation of these plans. Conspiracy, 88. Jimi Hendrix, 411. Again, with Beyonce, I've been showing you a tremendous amount of coding, 411. For 411, so please pause it over here, see all of that. Again, this magic bill is being put forth by the 114th Congress. JFK assassinated on 411 Street, the codes for it. Watch those videos. I swear to you, it is there, it is there, it is there. You see reference to death sentence, magical realism, and androgyny. So what I want you to also see here for Tex Mars, is for how much he has written, there's surprisingly little information on him. All right, you can see he was born 1944, which again, that's important because if we add this down, 1 and 9 is 10, drop the 0, 144, 1 times 44 maintains that double 4, okay? And again, the 411 that we were just looking at in his other code, 4 times 11, 44, that is the magic number, the kill number, all sorts of things, but notice how little information there is about him. I think that is truly bizarre, okay, because all we have is a middle initial. We don't even have an actual birth date on him. And so take a look here, because you see his Jewish value is the same as rediscovered communication. Go ahead and take a look at all of that right there. The English and simple values, very interesting to me, because the same as Judas Be My Guide, George Clooney, my name, and Mike Will made it the producer for the song Formation, okay? And again, Judas Be My Guide is a song from Iron Maiden's Fear of the Dark album. All the 666 there, but look at that again. The Apocalypse, Cornerstone, Global Control, Manifestation, Annuit Coptis, the Universe, okay? May 20, May Earthquake, all of it coming back. Perfect number, Hecate Evocation, all right? So let's keep moving here. For episode 135, King Size Homer, if you break it all down here, November 11th, we get the 11.5, 11 times 5, it's 55, all right? Again, it's one of my favorite numbers, comes up again and again, it's very important. And take a look at the way that we can reduce down 1995, you can get this all the way down to a 330 or a 33 if we drop that 0 off over there, okay? So again, if you want to reduce all this down, pause and look through my notes so you can see how it's all there. Now, the title for this episode, King Size Homer, okay? Notice here again the reductions. The 11118, we multiply that, and again we get the magnificent 88, okay? Number of letters for it, 445, giving us that 220, master builder number, okay? Very important connections here. Now take a look, November 11th was the 315th day of 1995, and there were 50 days remaining, all right? So take a look at this one. You have the Antichrist planet Saturn, as well as regal magnificence of the 888. 18 is an important number, all right? Remember, Beyonce playing at the Rose Bowl is the 18th date of her world tour, as well as the countless other things I've told you about. That number 6 times 3 is 18. Legends of Light, I chose the 18th tarot card for a reason. Not only is it the moon card, but it was a reference to the letter R as well. I was hoping some of you would catch. Now take a look here. Southern California earthquake, Skull and Bones, Secret Society, volcanic rapture eruptions, doves shall be holy unto you, dissolution of manifestation, comet Elenin will cause disaster, Texas murders of the innocent. Remember all these connections to the Misfits Bullet EP, and in the song Ride Johnny Ride, they're going on and on about Texas is the reason that the president's dead, all right? And again, this is very interesting. Abrahadabra, the reward of Ra Hu Kut, all right? And so very interesting because Abrahadabra is the word signifying the completion of the great work, okay? So now let's keep going here because this is very interesting. So King Size Homer, notice again it comes up regal magnificence of the 888, secret place of the Most High, and the mark of the Antichrist, all right? All of that very valid at this point to be coming up. Now take a look here, this English and simple value, because I want you to see that is the same as More Than a Dreamer, again from Beyonce's Formation video, and the same as AF 141. Now in Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, when they're talking about this date, this is when the war, the 9 Years' War broke out. All right, so it's very interesting to me that you have, and remember, More Than a Dreamer came out this year. All right, and so with AF 141, take a look at this. The Age of Aquarius, Barack Obama is the Antichrist president, Comet Elenin rapture, made in United States. In this phrase, time is measured in blood. The Great Abomination, Love Agenda, MPAA, Ruin Education. I spent a tremendous amount of time exposing them on my channel that was taken down, okay? So take a look over here for the values 26, all right, it could be B, O is in Barack Obama, all right, November 9th, that's another 99, 78, number of tarot cards, again, Martin Luther coming up. Project Monarch mind control program, immensely important. And again, here you see satanic ideology coming up. All right, so all of that stunningly important. Take a look here. Dan Greeny is the one who wrote this episode. Reference of The Price of Life is Death, as well as U.S. Target, Dark in the Sun. And as I was kind of saying earlier, that's what we would expect to see with massive volcano eruptions. And so interesting that we have that as a constant thread throughout all of this presentation today. Now take a look here. You have reference to names of the Horn God, secret direction, true beast, ideological paradigm shift. All right, remember in the very beginning we talked about transcending the illusion of time. All right, it's a huge paradigm shift right there. You also see the end of all life on earth. Take a look down here. English and simple values are the same as Mike Will, again the fucking producer for Formation, and Sasha Fierce, Beyonce's alter ego, who she claims possesses her when she performs. All right, so again, airtight connections. Check all of this out. This reference to do the math, esoteric, the significance of the Magus card, all right, enthroned Washington, go to Mindy's, all of those connections that I've talked about in there. And again, take a look for that 444. I want you to see Order of Thelema, Head Mind Control, FEMA Camp Program, Occult, Killing, The King, Ruler, Anti-Peace, okay, all of that stuff in there, all right. So last bit here from this episode, the king-size Homer one, the chalkboard gag is Indian burns are not our cultural heritage, okay? So again, here's all this baseline for you here. And now just take a look, because here it is again, the 33rd degree of Freemasonry. 458. And so again, the odds of these numbers coming up are truly astronomical, but check it out, it's the same value as Secret of 36. And remember the reference to 36, I think it's Craven Street where Benjamin Franklin lives earlier in this video, and the information that I've brought you in the past regarding the immense significance I found in this number. But take a look, Central Intelligence Agency, as well as I'm in the Mood for Murder, and Families on the top level. Alright, so you keep moving here. Reference to NWO Owl again, immensely occult creature. You have 1521. And again, I'm just stunned that I can just pop these in, and there you have the same as Minute Brew Nescafe. All right, the commercial right after what's his face, JFK got assassinated. All right, so take a look. Lotus flower, CERN will explode. Remember, the Egyptians thought the universe came from a lotus flower, okay? CERN, this whole reset thing, okay? Take a look, CERN will explode. September 29, all right? A date that I've shown you and looked into, all right? Because again, the 9th month on the 2nd, 11, this year reduces down to 9. It's another 99 that you have right there in that date. Destructiveness, a wolf in sheep's clothing, as well as 36 degree Mason, okay? Very important. Look at this down below. Order out of chaos, manifest destiny, I make all things new, the source of evil, okay? All of that just right in there. So take a look on the left again. Full-scale conquest of war, insistent on world domination and dissolution of the universe. So take a look down here, the English and simple, the puppet pulling the human strings, as well as do not try to interfere with God's plans. The 13 Illuminati families are cowards, and the United Nations is the New World Order, all right? Makes complete sense. It's been right in front of us the whole time. It's the ones perpetuating everything. It's the ones pushing us closer and closer to it. All they're going to do, it's just like the same thing when they integrated all of the classical myths and pagan beliefs into Judeo-Christian things. They're just going to switch names, switch titles, all of that, and maintain everything. So check this out. One of the ways to look into that, the UN is the NWO. You get this 1555, multiply 1 times 555, you get the 555, all right? My truly favorite number, okay? Now take a look here. You do have all of these terrible things coming up with this. I just do want you to see Goldman Sachs, U.S. Civil War II, okay? Very interesting stuff. And tying it all the way down here, you see the English and simple values are the same as civil rights leader. And again, this tying in with my Family Guy video, as well as just the idea that Beyonce is being presented right now as a civil rights leader. Okay, and again, you can see how we get a 55 even out of that one there. But being presented as a civil rights leader with her formation stuff, all this Black Lives Matter hashtags that she's putting in there. Very interesting, okay? And so take a look at all of this: population manipulation, the sacrifice of love, okay, down below, Barack Hussein Obama 2, Large Hadron Collider, again, bringing it full circle, the triple eights, controls the media, and subliminal messages, okay? So all of that, you take a look over here on the left, again, those are the same values, and so you do have that. I want to also show you, though, this idea of see you in July. Now, I have 2 dates for you plotted out in July, where things look like they could get a little hectic, so please be sure to pay attention to those. What's going to happen is going to happen. Frankly, I don't think having a huge stash of food is going to do anything. I do feel that whatever lies ahead, it will be on an unprecedented enough scale to completely render most means of survival useless. All right, it's one of those things where I truly feel more will be revealed, as in all of the laws of limitation that have been imposed upon our world, upon our view of things, our perspective of what's possible or even feasible. All of that, I think, is going to be rendered and exposed to a completely different and higher and abstract level of being and existence, and I think we're just in for a real treat with all of that. And so thank you so much for watching. Please put all of this together. It is very, I think, cohesively assembled as is. If you're not subscribed, please be sure to and share these videos. Just talk about it. That's all I really care about, is getting people to think in these more critical manners and really assess the importance of all of these various components, because again, it is all relevant. Nothing just arbitrarily happens. No coincidence, anything like that, just like there's no absolutes. And so again, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Again, you've got one last thing if you want to see it here, talking about when they switch their title, but I'll do that in another video. Alright, so again, thank you so much for watching, and please be well.